Hello, how are you? Welcome to the next episode in Series 3. My name is Bhavin. I am Invisalign's top associate dentist for Invisalign Full on a pro rata basis, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Align Alchemy, UK's #1 and top Invisalign growth mentors. Welcome. So I've had a lot of people reaching out and saying, we love this idea of the 12 value propositions. So that's like saying we've got 12 different scripts. The question someone's asked me is, what is the difference between someone who executes and lands their scripts and someone who falls short? So it was really interesting to me because I was asked that question and I happened to be watching Michael McIntyre, one of my favorite comedians. One thing Michael McIntyre is really good at is changing his script to the area. So when he goes to Newcastle, he talks like a Geordie. I'm not going to attempt my Geordie accent. When he goes to Liverpool, he talks like a Scouser. So he understands nuances. But the one thing that we can learn from Michael McIntyre is he understands nuances and relevance of messaging for an area. He understands the importance of learning his script, but he understands the drama, the theatre, and the punchline. If you cannot deliver that punchline, the joke is not funny. Let's just imagine we went to a comedy show, somebody was reading Michael McIntyre's jokes, but they did not land any of the taglines. I'm pretty sure we'd all be asking for a refund. And what we find is that there's a clear demarcation between introverted dentists who enjoy being quiet, humble, and those who are showmans. My daughter's favourite movie, well, not anymore, she changes every year, but a couple of years ago, it was The Greatest Showman. And, I remember going on outdoor cinemas and we were dancing and singing because, unfortunately, today is more about showmanship. We have made up this word called edutainer. The introverted dentist likes to offer education. The showman wants to offer education up here, but with entertainment and drama and theatre infused into it. Let's be honest, that's exactly what we want. If I was to talk to you right now, monophase at a sleddy and stow speed with no body movements, you'd be bored to death. I have to somehow engage and show excitement, passion. That's why my hands are going up and down. Perhaps I'm going to increase the pitch and tonality of my voice and then change something. What we understand is we need to script. So I actually had a dentist and he said, can you help me to get my script so that the cadence, the volume, tonality changes at certain points and drops at certain points? Because that he understood, it was all about landing his performance. So recently I had a dentist that I was mentoring and they changed everything around. So an example of this was, if you have the matrix of 12 value propositions, he had someone who had seen an orthodontist. So we need to create clear, transparency and difference between a cosmetically driven GDP and how an orthodontist does Invisalign. And that person's primary product that they were buying was not straight teeth. It wasn't a relapse. It was a beautiful smile. So they understood they had to go to the value proposition that explained to someone who's already seen an orthodontist for their beautiful smile on the difference of seeing a cosmetically driven GDP. I love that that person picked it up. But what they were doing was, as they were doing the assessment, they were using so much dental terminology, it just went over that prospect's head. Afterwards, we had a chance to have a discussion and to say that when you are making your observations for your nurse to do the charting, what you want to do is the showmanship of your artistry as a cosmetically driven dentist. So that person can see clear water between how the orthodontist was noting morphology and how you're doing this. So I then helped this person and we spoke to the person who'd come for the consultation. We started explaining how a cosmetically driven dentist is different. When we started looking at things, rather than talking about NL angles, lip competence, we reframe the conversation. So we're saying aesthetically looking, the person has a very pleasing lip, they've got full body, and we change the whole way in which we did the assessment. Because the question we have to ask ourselves as clinicians is, when we make observations, are we making these observations so that our nurse can chart something for medical legal protection? Or are we making these observations so that the patient is hearing, wow, this person cosmetically is breaking down my buccal corridors, midlines, and everything in a different way, but saying it in a way that the patient understands. So talking about recessive buccal corridors means nothing. If we say when the person is smiling, I can only count 6 teeth, it's like the back teeth are hidden, that is a different way to explain a buccal corridor that's recessive. Saying that the midlines are off center is wrong. Perhaps saying that the chin's to one end and the teeth are going in the other direction helps them to understand what we can see. As soon as we went through this with the client of mine, the very next patient that come in happened to also have seen an orthodontist, and they wanted a beautiful cosmetic result. The instant change in that person and their delivery of the value proposition, the showmanship, the theatre and the drama instantly showed that person, this person understands aesthetics, beauty. The irony is that the dentist afterwards said, I've said exactly the same things as I normally would have. But before, I was communicating a message for my nurse and I was completely disregarding the person in front of me. Now, my focus is purely on that person and helping them understand the value that I add. And then my nurse and I then figure out the bits afterwards. A complete paradigm shift in how we do things. I hope everyone can understand now that when you understand the subtleties, the nuances of these 12 value propositions, and you deliver this in a very specific, deliberate way, unlocking that prospect so that they start to buy becomes so easy. And that in essence is how I am Invisalign's top associate for Invisalign on a pro rata basis. Thank you so much for listening to this video today. I hope you found it helpful. My only request from you is please share, please tag other people. Let's work hard to get this out there and help everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.